So here's a different type of story that I normally cover. All about a husband who's only been married to his wife just 2 years, who recently found out that she was cheating on him. And unlike all the other guys out there, he was thrilled. He could have been happier, practically doing cartwheels. And why? Because he was miserable. The second she gave birth to their child, she became an absolute nightmare to live with, and he was tossing and turning about divorcing her, and now he can get rid of her. Happy as can be. But the main theme of this story is, aside from this being a little different, is if it gets that bad, guys, just divorce him. It is not worth suffering and just waiting for an excuse so you don't be given a hard time by the family. But of course, you're going to see how she's begging him to come back. And it's titled, Am I the A-hole? My wife became emotionally you-know-what since giving birth. She topped it off by cheating, now is begging me to reconsider. And a shout out to Chris for sending this story. He says here, I, a 28-year-old male, I've been married to my wife, a 27-year-old female, for 2 years together. 2 years together for 4. Smack! You got married just after 2 years when you first started dating. Are you out of your mind? Well, clearly you didn't spend enough time getting to know her because, well, you listen to this. 14 months ago, we had our first baby. Well, you didn't waste any time. She hasn't gone back to work, and I have been the sole breadwinner. Her choice. And since she gave birth, my wife has become a nightmare to deal with. Well, since you're responsible for keeping the roof over your heads and putting food on the table, she ought to be treating you like you're the freaking king. Nope, not the case. She became irritable, angry at me for the smallest reasons, complains about everything. Everything is somehow my fault. All she does is hold the baby all day, even if he doesn't need to be held, and scroll through her phone. Everything else is my responsibility. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Number one, that baby does not need to be held all the time. And at the very least, she can run the dishwasher and run the dryer, fold some laundry, do some cooking. Nope, she does nothing but look on her phone. But you know what? Obviously, there's something about this guy that's telling her, I can treat him this way because he's not going anywhere. Now, let's be honest here. We haven't had you-know-what for over a year and a half. Oh, hell no, they just got married. And whenever I try to address it, she lashes out at me because even though I'm the one who works and I do all the housework, yet I'm insensitive and don't care about her. She is mental. But, oh hell no. You're not getting any. She doesn't help. And no, dude, don't waste your time. Get an annulment. If it's too late, which it probably is, divorce. Take the hit. It's not worth suffering. I haven't brought up the SCX until the 3-month postpartum. I was basically her emotional punching bag. I tried to get her therapy, I tried to address her behavior, but all I get is more verbal abuse. Well, please tell me you have someone you can talk to, a family member, a friend, somebody that you don't have this all bottled up inside. This is no way to live. But I got a question. Was she like this before? I'm going to guess probably not. Some people are in the comment section are calling the postpartum thing, but you know what? It's her job with the postpartum thing to get help, not treat her guy, her husband, who's a good guy, like complete garbage and step on him every chance she gets. You can see why he's happy she cheated on him. I hated our marriage. I wanted to end it, but I was scared of the idea of co-parenting. I was scared of the social backlash of ending the marriage with a child involved. Smack! Who cares about the social backlash? You're not the first guy in history to get a divorce and divorce your wife for being a bitch, or in this case, the other one, with a kid. You'll deal with it. Let people be mad at you. Who the fuck cares? And also, a small part of me was hoping that somehow things will get better. Dude, they're not going to get better. You tried. This is who she is. Well, last month, she made it a lot easier on me to end it. She told me that she was going to a bar with her friends. She came back home at 4 o'clock in the morning drunk. Oh, so she can go out with her friends drinking until 4 o'clock in the morning, but she can't freaking run the dishwasher or vacuum the carpet? As soon as she slept, I snooped through her phone and found texts between her and a random guy implying that she went to a hotel with him. Meanwhile, she's not giving it to you. If they're not getting it from you, they're getting someplace else. I was almost relieved when I saw them. I could finally walk away from this miserable marriage without any guilt or regret. Well, dude, if you're happy, I'm happy. But you know what? It's unfortunate that it's that bad that you're happy she cheats. Really. And he's probably thinking, who the hell is this girl? What happened to the girl I fell in love with? Well, clearly you got the bait and switch. And I want to know some information here. I'm sure you're all wondering. Was this the type of guy that no girl paid attention to, and he quickly got involved with and married the first girl who paid attention to him? Because he did it in 2 years. And was she sweet? What's the word? Sugar and spice and everything nice until they got married? I don't know. Well, the first thing I did is I got a sample and did a DNA test for the baby. He is mine. Well, on the one hand, thank God for that. On the other hand, if it wasn't your child, then you can move on. But okay. As soon as the results came back, I informed my wife that I am aware of her infidelity and our marriage is over. Well, I'm sure that was a fun conversation for you. She broke down crying. Of course she did. She begged for my forgiveness and tried to use every excuse in the book. Postpartum, depression, post-trauma, alcohol, etc. Did she use all those excuses all at once, or was it like postpartum? Nope, you weren't falling for it. Past trauma? Nope, you're not falling for it. Alcohol? Nope, he's not falling for it. And then promising everything. Well, again, she promised me everything to make it up to me and says she would do whatever I want. Well, why weren't you doing whatever I want, or at least helping out with chores or treat me like a human being before I caught you cheating? You just are afraid your meal ticket's going away. She said that she doesn't want to break our family, but I wasn't having any of it. I've already hated this marriage, and the infidelity was just the nail in the coffin. We're still living together, and she has been begging me to reconsider, promising me everything under the sun. Of course, that's what they do. But I have zero intention to reconsider, and I told her she's not allowed to speak to me anymore. Am I the a-hole? No, dude, you're not the a-hole. The only thing you're the a-hole, well, I can say you're the a-hole for staying with her this long to the point that she cheated on you and made you happy. But then again, you're young, inexperienced, and it was a big giant mess, and obviously there's the kid and all that. But still, man, no, you're not the a-hole. But you need to freaking talk to a lawyer yesterday and find out your options. If she's not working and you got a kid, you're going to be paying some alimony for a while. At least some bit of a while. You're going to be paying child support because obviously, the kid's going to go with her at least half the time. But fortunately, it sounds like you don't have any real assets. It sounds like you're not in a house, so there's no having to deal with that. You probably don't have a whole lot of money saved up, particularly if you're the only one working. So the asset division should be rather small. And go from there and hope you have a good attorney. Hopefully you get a female attorney that can be a real sharkus and handle it right. But you can't stay with her, obviously. And in this time period you're together, for God's sakes, don't sleep with her. She's going to try to seduce you. That screws up the whole process when you're trying to go through the divorce. But you're going to probably get hit with the judge and all that and giving you a hard time. But you got to do what you got to do. This is no way to live. And I promise you, if you change your mind and stay with her, she's going to be right back to her old ways probably within weeks, if not days. Guarantee. And all you're going to teach her is she can treat you like garbage and cheat on you and all that. And still you'll hang around for more. Do not do it. And the whole comment section is full of people thank Jesus on his side. Lots of women too on his side saying don't do it. But anyhow, guys, a few comments before I wrap this up. This first one is from my female writer. She says, I wanted to address my postpartum depression and anxiety by disappearing from the world permanently. Never did the thought of committing adultery become an option. I got therapy. Help at home, kid into daycare, back to work, and family and friend support. I wouldn't expect anyone to stay with me if I did what she did. That is from a woman. Exactly. Where's this girl trying to get help? I bet you his girlfriend, his wife now, probably wanted to get married purely for the ceremony and the wedding, not because of the marriage or him. And once all the fun wore off, having the bachelorette party, and which she shouldn't have done, and all the bridesmaid crap and everything, then it got real with her having a kid. She's bored, pissed off, and just blaming him for it, even though it was her choice. Fuck her. Another one. This is from a woman. This woman says, you stay firm. Trust me, a child can do way better with happy separated parents than miserable on a battleground. I had postpartum depression. It sucked, but that's no excuse for cheating. My postpartum depression was horrible, and it brought up other issues, like the fact that I got with my partner because he wanted to give the baby a home and family. It didn't go well. Your wife is just begging and crying now because she doesn't want to work and have the gravy train you end. You should have made her go back to work because now she's going to try and get spousal support from you. Well, of course she is. Make sure you tell the judge you didn't ask her to quit working. She just decided she's not going back. Don't let her change your mind because anyone who's married or divorced can tell you it never gets better. 6 months down the road, she'll be back to everything that you hated about her. Believe that. I just got divorced after 16 years, and I'm happy as hell and will never do it again. That's from a woman. I love when I read these things from the women telling these guys, don't freaking do it. And one more. This guy says, this is from a guy. He says, we ended up divorcing amicably. None of us cheated. None of us abused the other. None of us drank ourselves to danger or used substances. We did therapy. We tried to save the marriage. And as much of it sucked to face defeat, we just had to accept that we weren't happy together and we wanted different things. No divorce is a joyful ride. But nowadays, we're happily divorced, raising an almost adult as great friends. There's no way this guy and this crazy girl are going to be great friends after this. We have relationships, we put our child as a top priority, and we got along just fine as friends who actually care for each other. Well, good for this dude, but that's not going to happen here. You are just the cash cow. She wouldn't have cheated if he'd had the minimal respect. If she had the minimal respect for you, she wouldn't be drinking and demeaning herself if she had the minimal respect for herself. When you have postpartum depression, you seek therapy to find out where is the issue, why one loathes oneself so much, or whatever the issue is, in order to avoid the drinking and the cheating and potentially injuring the baby. Oh, my bad. This is from a woman. Make sure you get custody. She's in a serious downward spiral. She's probably not a monster, but if she doesn't get help, she can end up like being one. Well, she sounds like a monster to me. Shaking baby syndrome begins like this, with a mentally unstable adult unable to get a hold of intrusive thoughts. Okay, my bad. That's from all women saying the same thing I've been saying here. It's one thing if dudes are saying to get rid of her, but when you have women calling her out, that's just something else. And that's why I chose those, by the way. So anyhow, guys, there you go. If it's that bad, don't be celebrating she's cheating so you have an excuse to get rid of her. Just end it. It may be hell, but in the long run, better for you and that child. And I hope he maybe gets full custody of that child because she sounds absolutely freaking unstable.